Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I just want to make sure that if you can hear me, please type hi or hashtag live. And those who are watching this on replay, you can type hashtag replay and do let us know where you guys are joining us from. So just give me a few seconds. We are back with episode number 17 of Tuesday Treat. And like always, I always have amazing experts here who come and they share about their story and how what they do benefit coaches and consultants. And the best of it all, they do bring some treats as well. And today as well, I have an awesome expert who is here to share their expertise. So let me just see if it's going live right now. I think it is. It's just that we need to make sure that there are no technical glitches. So if you can hear me, please type hi or hashtag live. Yes, it is now live on my profile. So the expert that I've invited today does something which is very important for coaches, especially in their journey. And I think if they are at their stage where all they are focusing right now is building themselves as an authority or as an expert on their subject matter, I think they really need to get in touch with my guests today, uh, because what my guest does is she helps 6 or 7 figure entrepreneurs or coaches become number one in the market and have more impact for their business. And she does that by helping them being published and become a best-selling author. And that too, she claims that she can help you do that in just 90 days or less. And just last year, she has helped 37 entrepreneurs become bestsellers in multiple categories. So, without wasting any time, let me just introduce my guest and add her to the stream. Please welcome Miss Jamie Wolf. Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Adil, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's always fun to get a chance to talk about story because I love stories.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out for this. And it sounds a bit cliched, but I think I'm really honored that you guys take time out. I know you all have very busy schedule, and it's like, I mean, you are always up and supporting and ready to share what you guys do and help others. So it's I really appreciate you being here. And without wasting any time, let's jump right in. And can you tell us a bit about yourself? What do you do?
Sure. So, as you were kind enough in the introduction, I do help experts become best-selling published authors. Specifically, I work with entrepreneurs, usually entrepreneurs who've been established for a bit. But the thing I want to encourage everybody is it doesn't really matter what stage of business you're in.
Uh-huh.
If you've been on the planet for more than a couple of years, you've got stories. And I really, really don't want writing to ever be the thing that gets in the way of telling your story. Because, oh my goodness, every single author that I've worked with has made me laugh and made me cry because of the things that they have journeyed through. And when you get courageous enough to share that with someone else, and it doesn't have to be dramatic, it doesn't have to be like some of our author stories are pretty dramatic, but it doesn't have to be, because whatever you are experiencing, somebody else somewhere is facing that same challenge. If you can share, you help them go through that portion of their journey a little bit faster to get to where they are making an impact. So my favorite thing about helping people share their stories is this crazy ripple effect. You share your stories, you're growing your audience, somebody else hears your story, now they can grow their audience, somebody else in their audience gets bigger faster, and they Like it is the way the world becomes very small. We all become connected. And it all starts with this thing called story, because it is one of the most powerful human connectors that there is, and one of the oldest forms of, how you pass legacy and create legacy and share things. And so it's what I love to do. I am an introvert. I'm a really shy person. I hate being on Facebook Lives. Just got to throw that out there. But what I do love is really connecting with people and encouraging you to connect to your audience through this written medium. And you don't have to write it if that's a thing that scares you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome, and I can so relate to this. I am doing this. I think this is my 17th episode of this show, but I am an introvert myself, and I was like, hey, why should we have to do this? But I think when you are connected to what you want to do, and if it's connected to your purpose, and like you said, we all have our stories, so it's all about sharing those stories. And stories is indeed a powerful medium, and I think people like you are an excellent help for those who really struggle to get that story out or to get that expressed, because not everyone, like, I usually say, not everybody can be a great public speaker. They can practice it. So same goes if it's in the written medium. You may have an excellent and powerful story, but it's not necessary that you have those skills where you can get that out in a way where it touches or the heart of your audience, or if it truly reflects the experience that you have been through. So that's awesome. Just wanted to ask, for how long you've been doing this?
So I have been a writer or a wannabe writer since I learned how to write. I think I wrote my very first story probably about a cat or a dolphin or something like that when, I don't know, I was teeny tiny. And I'd written a bunch of stories over the years, but I think maybe many of us can relate that the older we get and the more aware we become of judgment of other people, the more we think, oh my goodness, my story probably isn't good enough. Like it's okay to write it for me, but I'm never, ever going to share it publicly. The first time I wrote a book was actually because I got tired of saying the same thing over and over again. So I thought I could just put it down in written form and hand people the answers to their questions. I had been fallen into being an entrepreneur. I had co-founded a medical device and disease management company, was the kind of entrepreneur who had to go pitch every which way and beg for money. Of course, we didn't call it begging, but basically that's what it was. We were, looking for lots and lots of money, put a product through FDA. So the whole high scalable tech startup thingy was how I got started. From there, I transitioned into working with tech startups. And so when they were learning how to pitch, when they were working with angel investors or venture capital people, they had a lot of questions about starting up their business and perfecting. And so I just, put it all down in a book. And that was my first ever exposure to, writing a book, publishing a book. Okay, you just kind of follow a checklist and here's how you do the technical side of it. But marketing a book, I didn't know anything about online marketing or advertising or the digital space of marketing. So that began a whole new learning curve. I guess because I got time on my hands because I, sort of hide away and I'm a little bit of a recluse. I like solving puzzles. And it's like, ooh, puzzle. How the heck do you sell a book? And so started doing that. And I got involved with helping entrepreneurs tell their story and publish and hit bestseller probably about a year ago, December. So about, 15, 16 months now, been focusing really on this group of people because y'all are courageous. Like I am one too. But being an entrepreneur can be a little bit lonely. It has its ups and downs. It will mess with your head. Like, can I really keep going? And so I adore working with this population because we are a unique sort of unicorn, crazy, determined, mission-oriented group of people. And if anybody deserves to get your stories told, it's you guys. And so it's a real honor for me to help people through that process. It sort of runs the gamut of, I've got so many ideas, I don't know where to start. And so let's narrow that down and start with something that is extremely strategic If you are deer in the headlights, totally intimidated by putting down your first word on a page, if that's what's stopping you, we've got frameworks, we've got ways, different tools, because a book is just one tool in the whole entire arsenal that you're using, whether it's Facebook ads or social media, or you're doing podcasts, or you're doing summits or virtual or real life speaking or events. You're going to do many, many things. A book is complementary to any and all of those things, but every single major guru, sorry to use that word, but every big influencer, every important and wonderful entrepreneur out there who has huge audiences has many books, not just one, but many.
Yeah.
So it is a thing that kind of like, if there's ever any mountain you've decided to climb, whether it's a real mountain or just a milestone you haven't hit before, and if writing a book has always been one of those, I should probably do that. Yes, you should. And you can do it soon. And it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And just to connect this to my next question, which is, I mean, the audience of this show are mostly coaches and consultants. So, can you just share, I mean, what you do and I mean, about the book, about getting a book published and writing a book, how it can help them if you have work. I mean, I know you work with entrepreneurs, but specifically if you talk about coaches and consultants, is there any case study that you can share, or you can just tell us, I mean, how it can benefit them if any coach or consultant wanna
Absolutely.
get write a book?
So out of the almost 40 entrepreneurs that I worked with last year, quite a few of them were coaches. And to be quite honest, Adil, I really resisted at first this idea of helping people become best sellers, because let's be honest, it is an algorithm game. You trick the algorithm, or you work with the algorithm, or you learn how the algorithm can support you. And then you make sure that you're getting the results that you want. No different than e-commerce. If you're not taking advantage of the algorithm for e-commerce, you're not selling as much as you should be selling. So it's the same way with books. We're going to work with that algorithm. But I was saying, oh my gosh, why would you do that? It's fairly fleeting. I'm not sure I understand the benefit. The market educated me about the benefit. I'll just give the example. If you've got 5 fitness coaches and they are all working in the weight loss space, maybe specifically they're all working in the weight loss space for moms who've just had babies. And so you've got 5 wonderful people, very informed, very well educated, very sincere in how they're going to help you accomplish your goal. And each one of them has an audience who loves them. But how does any one of them stand out? Almost all fitness trainers look lean, they look strong, they're crazy about their nutrition and their workout ethic. And the rest of us are just going, oh, I wish I looked like that, but I'm not sure it can happen for me. But if one of them can raise his or her hand, their hand, and say, hey, I am a published best-selling author, we suddenly give them more authority and status and credibility. We feel differently towards them. Whether that's fair or not fair or real, that's a whole psychological something else that I don't know anything about. But it is true that it raises your brand, it raises your authority, it raises your credibility, it raises your status, it increases your visibility. And as you can say, you just hold up a book. This is the wrong one because I'm not a dad, but you hold up a book and you go, hey, I'm a published best-selling author. And someone says, oh, you want to be on my podcast? Oh, do you want to come do my Treat Tuesday? Oh, do you want to, be on my summit? Do you want to, could you write a piece for, help with this article? And suddenly it gets that snowball effect. So for coaches and consultants, you care, you're on a mission to help people. You can't do that if you're not seen, if you're not rising above the noise, because it is a competitive space. There are many coaches and many consultants, which isn't to say you're not going to be tremendously successful and you have something unique to offer, but you have to help people know that, and you have to help people find you. And when you can say, I am a published best-selling author in this thing, so you should listen to me, it makes a difference. And then it gets you increased exposure. So it just kind of spirals up and up and up and lifts you up. And that lets you help more people, which is why you became a coach or a consultant.
Yeah, I think that's so true, because I mean, I've been working in this industry for last 10 years with coaches and consultants. So I've seen that having a book or something like this published gives your ideal client a chance to get to know more about you and feel more connected to you. I mean, I have seen those coaches who only got more clients because people felt connected after reading their book, even if it was not about their own story, but what they were working about. And in that, how it was written, it has created such an impact that they had followers who were actually, I mean, in future they became their potential clients, and they were like, we read your book 4 years ago, we read your book 5 years ago, and since then we started following you. And that's how they came to that stage in their business that they wanted to work with them. So yeah, it really is something that is very tangible about, especially for coaches and consultants, because what they do is often quite intangible and it's not there in physically. So I think having a book certainly helps in explaining that.
Well, here's one more interesting thing. I've known a lot of coaches and consultants over the years, and one thing they may not be as confident in is sales. You know, I want to help. I am a helping, caring person. I'm on my mission to make you feel better, do better, whatever it is. But to get someone as a client, you have to sell your program or your services. And that part may be uncomfortable for many coaches and consultants. So your book can do a lot of that heavy lifting sales for you because you're establishing trust. You're establishing a relationship. They are seeing themselves working with you. They're understanding, like they're relating to your stories that you have in the book. You can have lots of links in your book so that people are coming to get your free thing. And they're already feeling like they're getting value from you. So by the time they ever get on the phone or fill out an application or opt into a page that starts them into your value ladder, they've already probably made the decision that they want to work with you because they bonded with you in the book. So
Yeah.
it takes away so much of the pain and this discomfort, even if it's only a perception of discomfort coming from the coach or consultant. If you have a book and you just say, you know, like Dan Henry, oh my goodness, you know, he's written an amazing book. And by the time people get done, there's like, I don't care what your pitch is, just like, how do I pay you? Like, I don't even need to hear anything. I just want to pay you. I want to work with you. And that's what a book can do. It's not a hard sale. It's showing people what you're capable of, giving them stories, having them get to know you, and then wanting to work with you.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And I've seen that. I've last week I was on a networking group, in a networking event where I kind of interacted with somebody who mentioned that they got two clients just because they read their book, and that was like, yes, it really makes a difference. So that now let me move to my favorite part of this show, where we actually have this different tradition that we ask our guests to bring treat for our audience. Instead, I mean, usually what happens is that you give treat to your guests, but it's the other way around over here. We ask our guests to bring any treat. So do you have any treat for us?
I do have a treat, and I want to put the treat in context just a little bit. I don't know about you, Adil, but I have joined a number of very high-level inner circles and masterminds over the years, and I've paid pretty significantly for those. And have I learned something? Absolutely, I have. But to me, and I think anyone else who's ever made that kind of investment, the real return has been the people, the networking, you know, the relationships that you make. So my treat for everybody is to come on into my Facebook group. And you go, really? That's your treat? It's called Influencer Circle. It's filled with influencers. They have amazing skill sets. I love to highlight the members of my free Facebook group. So it's not a paid group. You come on in and we do member spotlights. You have the opportunity to share what it is that you do, to share who you want to work with and things like that. So it's not spammy. I'm not saying, oh, everybody is just dropping links all the time, but we get to have a conversation and know each other a little bit. The other thing is within that Facebook group, anything you ever want to know about writing a book, publishing a book, getting a book to rank, getting it to bestseller, advertising a book, getting reviews for your book, perhaps relaunching your book. I've got a lot of videos and a lot of content in there, as well as I've interviewed authors who are entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants who've written books, and they shared their journey of, oh, I did not think I would ever write a book. And oh my gosh, my mom or my kids are so proud of me now that I did that. And who knew? I'm getting leads and I'm seeing pictures of my book in spots around the world. I didn't really anticipate that would happen, but it's real. It's working. So I invite you to come into my Facebook group, Influencer Circle, meet really amazing people, have the chance to share what you do, as well as if a book has been on your radar, and I suggest it should be, and really soon, like soon rather than later, you can find lots of useful information and hopefully get a lot of value out of being in the group.
Yeah, I can totally vouch for that. I've fairly recently joined your group, but I've seen this is one of the few groups that I see providing a lot of value to people there, and it's not just like you said, it's not just all about sharing links and being spammy all the time. It's really high value stuff. So those who are watching this right now or even on replay, I would highly recommend uh, joining this or exploring this, or and especially connecting with Jamie. This is the link that I've shared, but I would request Jamie, can you? This is also streaming live on Facebook on my profile. I'll tag you there. So do share contact details or
Absolutely.
however you want people to reach out to you, so that if they want to know more about what you do, and even if they want to have a call or something like that before joining your group. But I think your group is something that is an excellent way to get to know more about what you do and who you are. So I think I would highly recommend doing this. So any parting thoughts?
Just, I love to read. I can never remember titles of books. Isn't that ridiculous? As an author and a writer and a publisher, I don't remember titles, but books are my way of escape. And they're also my way to learn. And they're also my way to connect and be inspired. You know, some of us may start our mornings with a little bit of inspiration. That's usually reading. And so, you know, leaders are readers, but leaders are also authors. So please go share your story because somebody somewhere is waiting to hear it. Adil, thank you so much for this opportunity to share what I love to talk about. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and it was really insightful. And what you are doing is awesome. And I would really encourage our audience to go connect with her. She's very easy to talk to, approachable, and runs a very wonderful group. So I'll be tagging her on this stream, and I think you can through that you can reach out to her and her group. And don't forget, we'll be back next week with another amazing expert. And till then, have fun. Good evening. Bye bye.